The Prodigal Son Return by Ruben D. Garcia. More powerful than the force that shakes and guides the universe since its origins equally affecting every aspect of a human being on this earth is just now becoming understood for the first time in human history. That force or energy throughout the universe and in every human being is more than just remarkable but unique, and it is so far an indescribable element in all things created throughout the universe, and as far as humanity understanding of it, it is almost misunderstood most of the time. We know that this earth, this world we exist seems at various period of mankind to stand still as if it would wait for a great divine event to push it forward. But what is truly in fact, this world has been and continues revolving eternally under the auspices of a great divine manifestation. The stars out in the heavens, which so often humanity seeing them on a daily basis, are witness of such divine manifestation. Humanity cannot fathom the greatness of them, but as we observe them we can only express a simple acceptance without considering the immense importance they are in human existence since our beginnings. This is really a momentous occasion for mankind. In no other era or period of our existence was something so spectacular ever present until today. The entire earth is filled with the order of transformation and ascension. What was wrong with the old way, you may ask? Had humanity continued on our devastating attitude both in nature and humanity, our extinction would have been the result by the pettiness and avarice of man. It is because of such long-established ill attitude within human conscience that it was resolved by the great divine to exercise a divine intervention supported by the monumental supplications of warriors and heroes known as light workers that convey to the infinite Creator that it was time for a change, a shift. It was at end of the 1980s that all things began to change. It was like the ninth hour according to the light workers, and throughout the earth many began to be given snapshots of what would be coming on December 2012 and beyond. Many of those that experienced a waking up in the early hours of the morning, say around 3 o'clock in the morning, began to receive words through dreams and mental communiques that the universe would be joining a divine endeavor in which the earth would be rescued, and along with this act humanity would also be rescued toward a more peaceful earth, but also filled with the element found throughout the entire universe. And shortly after that, the following 2 decades begin the process of removing the darkness from human consciousness and being replaced as it is known today by the light of truth. Let me provide you with a well-known scenario found in the Bible to explain what is taking place for humanity today. Do you recall the passage in the Bible that is found in Luke, chapter 15, regarding the 2 sons of a wealthy man? One went away and the other stayed back to help his father. The one that decided to leave his father's side, spent few years experiencing hunger, mistreatment and abandonment. During his period being away, demoning treatments began to be experienced, and such experiences brought unto his mind and thoughts along with memories of the goodness and happy opportunities he had at home filled his agonizing reality. Recognizing that there was a better existence in his father's household, he decided to return. His return was not with pride and a sense of belonging, but rather filled with humility and sorrow. In short, his father received him with joy and merriness. On the other hand, his brother, who stayed behind and helped with toils of his father's house and land, felt rejected, somewhat abused, and of course not favored as he expected to be, and echoed his feelings to his father. His father in turn expressed to him that his lost son, the one he thought dead, had returned. Of course, this was not the pleasing response the brother desired. It is this well-known and often used scenario by so many in pulpits to describe love, forgiveness and, as always, jealousy and misgivings. The same scenario described here is a similar scenario that represents humanity now as it returns to the arms and house of the great and infinite Creator, God. Similarly, as the Father received his thought-dead Son and seen him to be alive, God, our Divine Father, also is jubilant to say the least that his children, the human beings, humanity, the awakened ones, are returning to his celestial house. A feast and merriness awaits all of those that are listening to God toward the new understanding of Him, the universe and human purpose in all of this. Not as we were made to believe, but through our own individual conscience we are being given the opportunity to be part of something great. The ritual of returning home to God should at least intrigue every single human being. I expect that not everything or anyone hearing this new manifestation will be open to accept this new divine scenario. This may be because all that is taking place requires a fervent belief in not only each one of us but also in something that has been estranged for humanity for thousands of years, and suddenly humanity is hurtled into believing in something so foreign that rebuke, disclaimers, and of course individuals, groups, and organizations on occasions will utilize whatever means that can be made available to pursue the destruction of this divine situation, or at least think that they can do away with what it is considered in all of the universe, the rise of humanity to unprecedented levels. And just as the son that grieved in ill feelings toward what his father did for his brother, so other nervous groups in humanity will seek to convince you that their plight or ancient choices are the ones that deserve merits. But I can reassure for those who remember the past filled of suffering and abandonment as the prodigal son did experience will agree that the house of the Lord and Creator was and is by far more dignified for any human being worthy of our return. There will be uneasiness among the non-believers. They will require much reassurance. Some will fail to open their minds and also their hearts, for the key to this new ascension and transformation is in the virtue of love. Yes, love, but not just the love humanity has learned and adhered to attached for thousands of years, but unconditional love toward all things created by the Supreme Creator, our God. Therefore, the sound of the shofar, the trumpets and the doors of heaven have opened, and occasionally you can sense that something you cannot put your finger on is taking place within you and around you. Gather your mind, your heart and soul to at least accept a portion that all these things that are taking place is for a greater good for you and all of humanity, and take a look up into the sky and recognize that the heavens have changed and you are becoming a major part of all these divine changes. Let all the displeasures of the past be gone. Carry with you the humble affection and trust as the prodigal son felt as he returned to his father's house. He sought only acceptance by his father, and all he desired was to disclose to his father his love for him and seek his forgiveness. Instead, his father embraced him jubilantly and accepted him without any comments of remorse or dismay. To the contrary, his father rejoiced at his presence, and as it is now similarly with God, the Supreme Creator and Father to us, he is also rejoicing on our return to his house, not as we're taught but as we truly are, his beloved children. Be as the prodigal son now. And so it is. Namaste.